Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have my friend Lula with me.
Hi!
And we're going to be showing you tips and tricks in the garden. Before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and let's get into it. So these are the suckers that we got from the tomatoes over there.
So we took some of the suckers and we grew them up in the kitchen over there. And we took them back and planted them down here. They're recently new that we started to plant.
Next to the tomatoes are the radishes that we planted recently from seeds. And we did pick some out of the ground and they were delicious.
Yes.
But Lula, how do we know if radishes are ready?
So if radishes are ready, you do something called the shoulder test, where it is when you grab one finger and you lightly circle around the dirt, and they should be at least an inch wide when you're ready to harvest. And if they're in the color that they should supposed to be, and they're big enough, then you can pick them.
So this one I can pick out, right?
Yes.
So we're just gonna brush the dirt off, and that is a pink radish.
Yes. Okay.
And what about the carrots? How do you know if they're ready?
Well, so the carrots, you do the same thing. But these carrots aren't ready yet, but you lightly brush around till you see the shoulders. And then if they're at least an inch wide, then you can pick them. These ones aren't ready yet, so you won't be able to see the shoulders. Okay, so here's next to the carrots and radishes. We just recently planted some with thyme, and we started growing some strawberries. And yeah, most of them can be ready. But Isa, I have a question for you. How do you know if a strawberry is ready?
Well, since we just started growing these strawberries, they're not as big as the ones you see at the grocery store. But since they're really red, like this one right here,
Yeah.
you know that it is ready. So I think we can just pick these two, and I saw one that was here. Here you go, Lula. And why don't we just taste test them, and you'll tell me if you think they were ready. Definitely ready. So you may notice something different. We put these two trellises here, and for the cantaloupe, because it's growing along the strings. And we also put this different trellis right here for the eggplant. But Lula, there's a question I've been wondering for a while. Why are trellises helpful in the garden?
Okay, so trellises help support the plant because, as you know, vines, they grow up, right? And if we wouldn't have these, they wouldn't grow up and they wouldn't grow properly, and you wouldn't have nice fresh cantaloupe or any stuff that grows up on vines, like tomatoes.
So what you're saying is the trellis helps keep it up, prompted up.
Yes, so it can keep growing, and so it can have more support for when it's fully grown.
Interesting.
Okay, so next to our cantaloupe and eggplant, we have our olives and the watermelon plants, which are looking pretty good. As you can see, there's one right here growing.
And here too.
Yeah, and one there too. But speaking about watermelons, I have a question for you. What if the plant starts growing out of the barrel, and when the watermelons grow, they'll just pop off?
Well, that's a very good question, Lula. We can't use a trellis because once the watermelons get big, the trellis won't be able to hold the watermelons. So instead of using a trellis, you could do things like putting this bench right here so a watermelon can just sit and grow.
Oh.
And then, or putting like something that's like about the level of it.
Oh, so that it can help support the watermelon while it grows?
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
so when it grows bigger, there can be more support.
Yes.
And so it doesn't pop off.
So the orange tree is doing pretty well. There's new leaves growing.
The buds are gonna come soon, so that's good.
Yes. And then our potato plants here. This one is much bigger than this one, and that's because we planted them like a few weeks apart. So we would get potatoes at one time, and then once we finished eating them, it would be just about the right time for these potatoes to be harvested. So I was wondering, how do we know when the potatoes are ready to harvest?
Okay, so once the potatoes are ready to harvest, my bad, you see these leaves. Once they start dying and they're all dry, that means that the potato underneath is going to be ready to harvest. So once all these leaves are brown and crunchy and dead, then that means there are going to be new potatoes that we can eat. Okay, so here are our tomatoes. As you see, they're doing great. There's one, almost an early one, surprisingly, but there's one right here. And it's almost ready to harvest, but we should wait. And yeah, it's been pretty good from the last time. But Isa, I have a question. Why are there crushed eggshells inside the thing?
We put them there to keep the slugs away, because when the slugs go over them, they get cut, and that tells the slugs like, oh, I don't want to go back here. But as you may have noticed, we took out the basil plant because it was actually attracting slugs. So even though it was not attracting other types of bugs, it was attracting slugs. So we put the... So we also put this up here because, as I was asking you earlier, we had to put a trellis so we could support it, right?
To support the plant so that it can grow.
And we put this so it has a little bit of shade but still some sun.
Yeah.
So this is the lemon tree, and it might not look like it's doing well because it doesn't have many leaves. Because
since it doesn't have many leaves, the tree's not the tree's mostly focusing on growing the lemons. But now, since the lemons are starting to grow more and then they're almost ready to harvest, the tree can now focus on growing new leaves.
like these.
Yeah. So the tree is nice and healthy and it's up and running.
So thank you for watching our video on tips and tricks for all the plants in this garden. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and make sure to support us so more people like Lula can show up on the channel.
Yes, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell button. Bye!
See you next time! Bloopers at the end. Oh, and make sure to stay till the end for bloopers. And let's get into it.
Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
No, it's
So before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell.
But hey, let's do it again.
Yes, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell so that you know that you are supporting us.
So our Sorry, can you
Start
start
again.
that over?